All right, so now we're going to do 17U Black from this past weekend in Pittsburgh, and then we're going to go through some season statistics and some observations and things like that. You guys went 4-1 this weekend, starting with a pretty eventful revenge game against New York Lightning. Actually, the other team played them before, and then you had a game against Jersey Force where you got crushed. And then three, I don't say comfortable wins, but three pretty nice wins. So let's just take a look. Let's start with actually, I think I'm not sure which game was first, whether it was the New York Lightning game or the Connecticut Elite game. May as well do it in order here. Let me just double check this. I think you had a showcase game first, right? Let me just double check. 17U, it's so crazy. Yeah, so this is your showcase game first. Let's just take a look at that one first. So Connecticut Elite. Okay. All right, so really strong effective field goal percentage, 61%, well above the 50% we need. Turnover rate approaching 20%, not elite, but certainly good. Excellent job on the glass for this group, 36% offensive rebound percentage. And, you know, when you have numbers like that, that's when you win. Very comfortable win here. Let's take a look at the shot chart. See if I can nitpick that a little bit. Nope. Only 3 shots I wouldn't like out of 59. Just perfect efficiency as far as I'm concerned. Let's take a look at, oh, actually that was against Pitt. Uh-oh, did I overstate? Let's see. Let's see against Connecticut Elite. Actually even better. Only 3 out of 47 shots I wouldn't like. So absolutely perfect work from the efficiency perspective. Let's look at the players, just up and down. Malcolm, despite him being over 5 from 3, he went 5 for 11. Antony 4 for 4 from 3. I'm sure that all of them were like 8 feet behind the arc. Leo, nice solid game as usual. The Busher, you tried to pad his stats all weekend, getting him like 17 technical free throws. I don't think this was the game, but there were a couple of them where he must have had like 10 techs. But in any case, he scored 14 points. Good for him. Chike didn't do so much here. Only 6 points. He got 5 defensive rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds. That's good enough for me. Braden, how about that? 3 for 3, including 1 for 1 from 3. My man, very nice. 2 steals. Overall, very efficient game. No complaints against a pretty, I'd say mediocre team, but mediocre to okay team. Not bad. All right, let's get to the New York Lightning game. And I want to tell you that in the coverage, in the footage, actually, I did edit out that entire half an hour where PJ was on the ground. That was really scary to watch. Amazing that he was able to come back from that. That was scary, and it happened with, like, I guess it seemed like a minute to go in the game or 2 minutes to go in the game in a tight situation, and it was hard to tell what was going on. Kind of figured it out near the end because they don't show the score when I'm looking at watching the games. Kind of an absurd end, kind of a crazy end, kind of a crazy game, but you guys did get it done. Effective field goal percentage, 53%, very nice. Turnover rate, less than 20, very nice. Offensive rebound percentage, a little weak. I hope this is not a problem with you guys too, especially with Patrick out. But let's we'll take a look at that. Like, for example, you compare this to your opponent here. Actually, you were better than your opponent. They were actually, your opponents were 57% effective field goal percentage. So they were actually more efficient than you were, but they They turned the ball over 60%, not bad. So overall, I think this is very reasonable. 53% effective field goal percentage. Again, turnover rate where we want it. Really no complaints. Let's take a look at the shot chart. Shot chart. Again, it defaults with a different game for some reason. Anyway. 4 shots, actually 6 shots out of 53 outside the range I like. Very good. Very strong overall. Let's take a look at the box score. What do we have? Once again, it just, I gotta talk to Huddle. Just unless I keep an eye on this, gives me the wrong game. All right, New York Lightning box score. What do we got? Well, we have PJ. Wow, before he got wiped out, 17 points, 6 for 13. Man, you called upon him to pick it up with Patrick out, and this is a nice job by him. You know, got to do a little better on the glass, but you know, you asked him to step up, and he did. Only 19 minutes. Very nice day. Very nice game before he wiped out there. Tony, again, 4 for 6 from 3, firing away. Bush, not good, 0 for 3 from 3. He did have some free throws, I thought. Oh, no, yeah, he actually did get one at the end, which I didn't catch, I believe. That was the game winner. I guess they didn't catch that last possession. Anyway, Braden was kind of invisible this game. No big deal. Overall, very efficient game. Nothing to complain about. Chike, again, not particularly relevant. Weird. Anyway, he did better in subsequent games. But overall, pretty decent performance. Overall, good shot chart. Good everything, pretty much. All right, so let's now take a look at this Jersey Shore situation. Jersey Force, 57-38 or so. Well, I have to tell you guys, if you shoot 31% effective field goal percentage, you ain't winning. And that's just the bottom line. Turnover rate's fine, 12%. Oh, offensive rebound percentage, 17%. So, you know what losing by 25 feels like? Well, that's what happens when you have a 31% effective field goal percentage and have a 17% offensive rebound percentage. That is how you get crushed. Comparing it to your opponent, they weren't particularly efficient. They were 47%, but they got all the rebounds. They ended up shooting the ball 47 times. Well, you shot 50, but all of them were from 3, right? So you guys from 3 in this game were 1 for 16. And you're 14 for 34 from 2. So can I give you a break here? All right, let's take a look at the shot chart. Then maybe I'll give you a break. Shot chart versus Jersey Force. All right, I'll have to say this. You only took 5 shots out of 50 outside the range. So I can't really bitch about this. You know, you were 1 for 16 from 3. And the fact is that over time, you're not going to be 1 for 16. I mean, you guys are shooting at a clip, and you know, we'll talk about we'll talk about that when we talk about the team in general, that you should expect to make about 6 of 16 from here, you know, presuming you have the right people taking them. So you can't worry about games where you take the right shots and they just didn't go in. So like, let's say that instead of 1 for 16, you were 6 for 16 like you were supposed to. Then you add 5 threes back to that, so that's 15. Now you have a competitive game, right? So now you're within like 5-6 points. So that's probably what you would have lost by if you guys shot normally, maybe by 5 or 6. You would have had to have overcome that rebounding problem. All right, and we'll talk about that just like we did with the other team. But this is why you look at the numbers, you look at the dispersion to kind of like give you a little color with these numbers. Okay, so here's something that might not be great. These are 3 for 9 from these floaters. I call them the crown floaters because you guys love these things, and I hate them. So this is a problem, in my opinion. I mean, statistically, you just don't make these that often. You're taking them too much. So 9 of your 50 shots were these floaters, and 3 for 9 is probably what you're going to end up shooting. So if instead of taking those types of shots, you shot it more from here or kicked it out to here, I could really make the argument that you could have been really tied in this game if you made your shots the way you were supposed to. And you don't have to get hot, just the way you're supposed to, and get rid of some of these floaters. All right. Just for fun, let's take a look at the box score versus the Jersey Force. Let's see who our big criminals were here. I mean, it's pretty much everybody. Now, the guys who missed the threes, whatever, but Chike, 1 for 6 from, well, he shot 2. What is he taking threes for anyway? So he was 1 for 4 from 2. That can't be good. And Matt was 2 for 6 from 2. And that can't be good. And Tony was 0 for 2 from 2. And that can't be good. Malcolm was 2 for 8 from 2. So here are the issues were missed shots like in the lane. Okay. So again, I can't really break them down by whether they were uncontested layups or not, but I definitely think the floaters were definitely a contributor to the inefficiency here. Would you have won if you shot it better? Maybe not, but maybe, So again, you could get away with stuff against when you're shooting well, but if you're not shooting that well, you can't get away with taking some bad shots on top of not shooting well. So I think overall, this game was not as bad as it showed on paper. You did make sort of the right decisions with respect to the shot selection. Just those floaters, again, you love them, so I'm not going to talk you out of them, but statistically, they're just not the best. Anyway, moving on to the next game. Last two were decent wins. We had, let's start with Pitt with Pitt. 80-74. Let's take a look at this. Effective field goal percentage, awesome. 58%, my man. 10% turnover rate, almost elite. Excellent job. Offensive rebound percentage, a little bit fishy. Okay. So you gave up a few more shots than you were supposed to this team, I think. Meaning that you didn't get second chances, and they got what? They probably had a 30% offensive rebound rate. Yep, 30. That's all their offensive rebound rate is 100 minus your defensive rebound rate, right? That makes sense. So again, rebounding made this game closer than it had to be, right? Because you were more efficient, and if you rebounded a little bit better, you would have probably won by more. Let's take a look at the shot chart. Shot chart versus PITT. Excellent. Only 5 shots at most out of 59. I don't like. Sounds good to me. Let's take a look at the individuals. Bush, 14 points, 5 for 12, 2 for 4 from 3. Very nice. Leo, 5 for 8, 1 for 3. Tony, 4 for 4 from 3. Let's go. Malcolm, my man. I think we got to take these threes and stick them in the back pocket. PJ. I don't even know why he was back playing, but welcome back, PJ. Is this where he had that dunk? He had one really strong dunk. Overall, really good. Braden, 3 for 3. 1 for 1 from 3. This looks right. Really strong. Really, really nice game. Shore up the rebound a little bit. Could have been a little more comfortable. And finally, a game against the Reds. Won it pretty handily, despite, yeah, I mean, you weren't that great shooting it. 45% effective field goal percentage, below that 50 mark. 14%, very good turnover rate, not elite, but definitely within the realm. Offensive rebound percentage, again, not the greatest, but this one's not bad. It's closer to 30. This team is just not this team is neither your teams is going to be a team that dominates the glass. I just want you to not get dominated. That's my point. Let's take a look at the shot chart here. Shot chart versus the Reds. Oh, almost perfect. These two little guys here. 1 for 3 on these kind of floater shots. But overall, excellent. Oh, so you happen to have gone 1 for 3, 1 for 9, 1 for 5. But that's going to happen. You know, as I said, you shoot. Now, it depends on who's shooting these threes, right? So if you have the wrong guys shooting threes, then you're not allowed to complain if your percentage is bad. You got enough great 3-point shooters on this team, and we'll get to the individuals in a minute, where you might not need to like have everybody shoot. For example, well, let's first take a look at the individuals from the Reds game. And then we'll do some season stuff. Individuals, just for fun. Chike, there he is, 6 for 10, 15 points. Bush, double figures, only 2 for 7 from 3, though. Tony, you're either 0 for or 100%. Love it. Malcolm, I don't like 2 for 8 from 2 for 7 from 2. That's not great. Yeah, Braden, when he gets in there, he doesn't take bad shots. I'll give him that. But overall, pretty efficient performance, with the exception again of the offensive rebounds, which we'll get to the recommendations in a minute. Let's take a look at the stats for the season for this whole team. All season. And again, we have 11 games, so it's sort of a sample size. I want you to think about this before we sort these by athletes. I want to know whose effective field goal percentage is over 50%. I want to know who is shooting 50% from 2 or better, or 33% from 3. You got to be doing one of the two. Okay. Let's take a look. Group by athlete. Total. All right, so let's see who's shooting effective field goal percentage over 50. I mean, you guys are awesome. I mean, almost everybody. I would say that I would like to see Chike over 50%. Usually these bigs have a better chance of getting over the 50% effective field goal percentage because they have a lot of stuff around the rim, but maybe he has too many threes. We'll get to that. Everybody else is just excellent, you know, just no issues. Let's take a look and see the percentages from these various spots. Let's rank these guys 2% by field goal percentage from 2. Almost everybody's over 50. Again, I'd like to see Chike improve. And I'd like to see Malcolm improve. Pretty much everything. I mean, he's only 41% from 2. It's not good. I mean, you got to think about that. It's just not good. And what you do with this information is, you know, it depends on your philosophy. But anyway, let's look at 3-point percentage. Who's over 33%? Okay, so here's what you got. Jaden's only got 6, doesn't count. Braden's only got 12, doesn't count. The guys that are shooting the most. So Anthony is the best 3-point shooter on this team, 46%. Then you got Bush, who's at 38, and everybody else is sort of struggling, I have to say. Leo, 24%. Chike, 23. Well, he's shooting maybe a few too many. You know, Leo struggling from 3. PJ struggling from 3. Malcolm not quite getting there. So it's important that everybody sees this. Matt, when he gets in, has a good percentages. I think that Bush or David, sorry, Tony and Matt should really be where the majority of the 3 should be coming from. You know, although Jaden, I don't know, he doesn't take a lot. I mean, you know better than me, but he's 5 for 6 from 3. I guess he's more of a distributor anyway. But I'm willing to reserve judgment on him. But you know, the good news is that the people that, this is the important thing, the people that are making them the most are the people taking them the most. You know what I mean? Like the guys with the highest percentage are taking them the most. And that was some of the issues sometimes we had on my teams, is I had guys that shot it more, even though they were making them at a lower percentage. You know, I want to get the people that shot a higher percentage to shoot it more, you know? Anyway, with this team, again, I think you could do the same thing, is that give a little bit more of a lead towards rebounding. And the thing is that you have some to spare. You know, like you have plenty of offense and plenty of offensive efficiency, where you could probably make a few small tweaks to your, you know, either your scheme or to your, you know, your minutes allocation or to your personnel on the court to shore up the rebounding end, because you're not going to give up that much of your efficiency if you take one of your efficient players off the court. Like I mentioned Malcolm, he's definitely not one of your efficient, you know, shooters, but I think he might add to the rebounding enough where if you put more lineups together with maybe him, PJ, and Chike on the court at the same time, you know, and then you just keep 2 other real efficient players like what's his name, like Leo and Bush, or Leo and Tony, or whatever, then that's probably enough to, you know, to still be efficient and just keep the rebounding where you need it to be. You know, listen, without Patrick, you need to do something. So, you know, that's something you might consider. Or like I said, with the other team, maybe scheme it a little differently. Make sure that you have, like Leo, and Leo does this sometimes, you know, have him make sure he chases back for the rebounds, you know, instead of drifting. Make sure everybody comes back from rebounds instead of what other teams, you might not need to do that. But overall, no real complaints, but hopefully you use use these stats and use these recommendations to, you know, to make some adjustments as we head towards the next part of the season.